right, so let's get started. And hello, everyone. So welcome to today's community call. And today we have several topics. And first one is for WXP UI update and also the Word API update, and also the WXP event-based activation and Excel API update and the NAA update. So we have a lot of topics today. So let's get started. And we have several presenters today. The first one would be Adrian, who is our senior product manager, and also Ying, who is our principal product manager, and also Miaofei and Dongqi. They are our senior software engineer, and also David. I miss him here, but yeah, I put his profile here. He is our technical writer. All right, so let's get started to the first topic. So hello, Adrian. Are you online so you can get started?
Yeah, sure, no problem. So I will take control. Please wait a second. Okay, is it working now? Okay, yeah, cool, it's working. So hello everyone. So today we're going to share with you a very exciting news that is a new capability and it will apply to all Word, PowerPoint, Excel. That is, we're enabling the dynamic enable disable for context menu. I know this is a feature that we have been asked for for a little bit long time, and we successfully bring it up to life. So right now, if you look into the context menu API 1.1, there is the capability. For some of you may not like familiar with what we're talking about here. This is the capability that where you can see in the right part that you can disable some of the context menu that you're not in use. And actually, that's a very common scenario, right? So for example, like if you're a translator, in some cases where like the users, they are not selecting the context, which actually you don't have to show your translator, right? So this is the place where you can disable your options based on different contexts. And also, the way to enable this is also quite easy. So as you can see, we put a little bit on the code as an example, where you can just simply request update and change from enable true and enable false, where you can start controlling this the context menu. And for a little bit more information, so what we think this could be very helpful, they are in two different ways. So first of all, is what I just mentioned. You can check on what users are currently selected and then decide what kind of features that you're going to provide. And this is also this can also provide an example that, so first of all, when users start using this adding, when you register your context menu, you should maybe, for example, like default it as a false. And when users selecting to the place where you think your adding can help on that scenarios, and then you will enable it. This is one scenario. And at the same time, there's actually another scenario, for example, like just considering when users they are not logging in, then you can actually stop these features because like they haven't logged in, they do not show their license. So there's actually if you're paid features, then you're not going to provide any functionality in this case, right? So you can set it as a disable. And after user login or complete certain like sign in, then you can start enabling features step by step. So these are the two common scenarios that we can imagine. But definitely you guys can come up with like more different scenarios. So this is the capability that we provide into our current context menu 1.1. And definitely we know this is definitely not the end of our UI improvement. There's still a lot of things we're going to do. So here are some items that we're currently investigating, and we hope there will be one day we can also share with you. So the other things that we're keep working on are, first of all, we know that in some cases you just want to hide this option instead of showing just as a disable. So this is something that we're currently considering, and hopefully we can be able to provide with you this capability soon. And also we know that in some cases, like based on the difference between all Word, PowerPoint, Excel, there might be some object where we cannot set up the context menu currently. This is something that we also have heard such kind of feature request, and we're also actively looking into it. And also, hopefully, there will be one day we can enhance this part of functionality in the future. And in the last part, I will also provide some best practice where you can check these best practices are, for example, when we're refreshing the context menu, there could be a chance from time to time that such kind of refresh will fail. So we will suggest, for example, you enabling a checker to better understand if such kind of a request update is valid or not. And there are many other different suggestions there. So if you're interested in this capability, please check out the video. I will also share it in the chat box. Yeah, so this is my part, and I will give back to Mingjia.
Mingjia, can I share my screen? Cool. Okay. So next part is Word API update. So I'm excited to announce that we have a new Word API desktop requirement set released just a few days ago. Just a little bit of recap on this desktop only API requirement set. We want to accelerate the release of the desktop only APIs. So this set only support Windows, Mac, and iPad. This doesn't mean that we will not support the Office Online or Word Online. It means that we have desktop coming first and catch up the online version later. So we still stick to our cross-platform commitment to our users, but it's just a matter of who comes first and later. For details, please visit this link here. We have a couple of different API categories. Shape, for example, is asked for a long time over there. We also have page, window, and pen APIs, and also compare, where you could actually compare two files in base64 format. Later on, I will provide a demo. Yeah, okay, this is the demo time. I'll have some live demo today. Let me switch to my Word. Okay, the first demo is the page, window, and pen related APIs. For example, with page APIs, you actually can look to see how many pages are there in my range, and also you have different APIs to see, okay, what pages are there in my current window and viewport. So you actually can get the active pen that you are currently working on, and you can search for the pages in the current viewport over there. So let's try to run some cases here. So in this document, I have single page, so we could say, hey, what's the selections page information? It will tell you, okay, this is number one, page number one, and the content is as such. And also, you can say, hey, where is my 15th paragraph? So you click on this, it tells you that, okay, the paragraph is in page 2. You can also have multiple pages in a view. Let's switch to the view mode and do the multiple pages. So in this case here, I will show 4 pages here. So if you click on like get page enclosing viewport, you actually can get the information, say, hey, there are 4 pages here. So their index are from page 1 to page 4. So this is actually very helpful for some cases, such as if you want to annotate your text in your add-in. Sometimes you only want to annotate those text in your viewport that you are the user currently is reading, right? That will highly improve the performance of the annotation marking, and also, of course, you can get all the page numbers, all the pages in the current document. This is for page, and also for shape APIs. We support different type of shapes, such as text box, and you actually can loop the body of the document and see what shapes are over there. Of course, you always have the capability to insert shapes. For example, you can actually insert a text box to the specific position of a document, etc. Let's run this example again. Okay, so let me just insert a text box in current selection. Interesting thing is that there was one request that you want to get floating images. That we actually can achieve this by inserting images into this text box or as shape, so that that image can be floating in the document. And of course, for this text box, you actually say the content controls can be included. For example, I can insert the content control to the first paragraph of the text box. So you can see the control is here. You can do further things like insert pictures, or you can insert the shapes into other places of the document, such as header, footer, etc. So this shape API are very important if you want to put the text or images or shapes to the very specific position in the document. For example, you want to put the company logo into a very specific position, or if you want to put the text to the very specific position, you can do those type of things. Yeah, that's for the shape API. Let me go back to my presentation. So the code samples I just demonstrated will be added into Scriptlab soon. Now, if you are eager to test it manually, you can do it. So I have two links here. You actually can get the sample in the first place to test. All right. And next section is about WXP event-based activation. We have talked about this capability several times in community call, and today, it's available for testing through the targeted release of Office Online. So just a little bit of recap here. So the event-based activation capability is actually the central to enable the central deployed add-ins to be automatically running in the background for all the users in the organization. So the add-in should be central deployed. And then, whenever a user open up a document or create a new one, the add-in will run in the background. So there are some typical scenarios listed here. For example, for data protection, organization can enforce the add-in to run to check, like, if there's a sensitive information over there, if there's some information leak potentials, etc. Right? For document template vendors, you also can check whether there's an updated company-wide standard logo, template, etc. To make sure that all the documents are consistent in the standard format. Writing assistant, of course, annotations can be always enabled for the document from the user perspective. And for event-based activation add-in, there are actually three pieces, right? So when developer adopt this event-based activation add-in, they need to configure the manifest and do some coding in the functions which I will show you later. And also at admin, again, this is a central deployed feature, and admin should deploy the add-in to the org. And then after the deployment, the user creates or open the document, the add-in will automatically running. Today, what can be tested through the target release is the first and the third part. And the admin deployment will be available later. So today, if you want to test it, you need to sideload it from the Office Online. All right, so I'll play a demo here. Before playing the demo, I'll go through my environment. Fortunately, I have a environment that I have the admin authorities here. So I'll check for whether I am on the target release. So if you go to the admin center here, loading, and you can do a show all, go to the settings and org settings. A little bit slow here. And under the organization profile tab, you actually can find the release preference information here. Normally, the standard release for everyone is checked, but in my environment 10 here, I actually check the target release for everyone. So with that enabled, this feature is available for testing. Then I can switch back to my Visual Studio Code. So take a little bit more look on the code structures and manifest. So in the manifest, you actually can config the onDocument open event for WXP. So here in this example here, we actually inserted image for PowerPoint presentation, and scroll up for workbook. We can also do the similar thing. And for Word, which I will demonstrate later, so the document, you have the launch event as on document open, and it will call the change header function underneath. This on document open event will be later changed to on document opened with additional ed, when we are going to do the formal release. But today, if you want to test it, you just use this one. Let's go back to my commands and see, okay, what is there for the auto-run feature. So we have the change header function here. Actually, the check-in is very simple, right? So if the body doesn't have anything in the document, it just say, hey, this is public data or content. Else, if I put some content into the document, it will mark the document as the high confidential in the header. Okay, let's just run this project. I can do a npm start. So with npm start, it's running. So the concept here is that we do a local running of the add-in service there, and we will load the manifest through the online. So from the document here, you can see nothing is here right now. So I'll do a manual set loading. Update my add-ins. I can choose like manifest. It points to the local host server though. Upload it. Okay, after I uploaded this add-in, click on it a little bit. So the add-in has been loaded. If I do a refresh for this document, you will see that, you know, there is one sentence or text added into the header, say, hey, this is the public data. And I can add something, and refresh this again. So, you know, the header is changed to high confidential. Similar thing will happen when you create a new document. So I do a creation of the new document. So you can see that because this is a new document, and the add-in will still running in the background and do the similar thing. All right, so this is auto run demo. Let me switch back to my presentation here. All right, so how to test it? Okay, as I just mentioned, you know, I have put a picture here, show you how to enable this target release. And also I have provided a link here. This is the GitHub repo where you can find the instructions and also the sample I have just showed. Call for actions, we already have several partners starting to testing this capability, but we do expect your help to do the testing and share your feedback with us. And also auto run for Windows and Mac is coming soon. Right now it's in private preview. So if you want to test that experience, you know, just contact us. I have the link and also QR code here. So to get your feedback and also your registrations for Windows and Mac. Okay. Yeah, that's all for my part. Thanks.
Thanks, Ying. So up next will be Miaofei and Dongqi. So Miaofei, are you sharing your screen? Hello,
Yeah.
Miaofei.
Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, great, thank you. Okay, hello everyone. Next, I will introduce the feature of custom enums as parameters in custom functions. The goal of this feature is to allow developers to predefine a list of options or values for a parameter. So this way, users can see and choose values from a drop-down list when typing the custom function into a style. This feature is currently available on the beta channel for both Windows and Mac. You can try it now. And online support is coming soon. I pasted a link here. You can find a sample script at the provided link, aka.ms/custom enum sample. Here we have two screenshots illustrating the use of custom enums on Windows and Mac. On the left screenshot of a string, this is a string enum. You can see in the drop-down list, there is the enum value, PEK, the description, Beijing, and a tooltip. Beijing is the capital of China. The drop-down experience is similar to the built-in formulas of Excel. And on the right side, you can see another screenshot on Mac for a number enum. And next, I will do a live demo. I can see my Excel. Also, yeah. I will use grab to do a demo. Here, I write a custom function to fetch the flight information based on the input parameters. Grab. The first parameter is the departure airport. Let me choose PEK. And the second one, what about Tokyo? And then the third parameter is a repeating parameter where I can enter a series of values, the day or week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. And then I got all the information, the flight, and the departure time. Of course, those data are generated randomly just for demo. And of course, I can try another sample. What about Seattle? And Seattle to San Francisco. And then Friday, Saturday. And then I can get the result based on the input. So this is a demo. I need to go back to. Okay, let's dive deeper into the implementation of the enums in TypeScript about how to write it, how to leverage the custom enum feature. On the left side, we have the definition for enum airport, enum day of week, and here you can see we introduced a new JS doc tag, custom enum, with the type string or number to indicate that this enum is to be used as parameter for some functions, so that you can see the list from the dropdown, from the autocomplete dropdown. And in the definition of the function is too long. I just put the function name here. You can see the type of the parameter are specified as airports and day of week. On the right side, it is auto-generated corresponding JSON metadata, which shows how the enum values are known by Excel. We add a new property in parallel with the existing functions, enums. In the new enums part, there are ID, type, and the enum values. To save some space in this slide, I omitted some of the values. So you can see the name, value, tooltip. The TypeScript enum name is translated to the name, Seattle, to translate to the name property, and the value to the value in JSON metadata, and the comment or description will be translated to the tooltip here as a description. And in the section of functions parameters, you can see that we introduced a new property, custom enum tab. Here you can specify the ID of the enum, because I'm using a scrap, so you can see there is a prefix for the enum. So also we keep the type as a string or number for better backwards compatibility. Here are some notes about this feature. Because JavaScript does not natively support enum, so developers, our add-in developers, needs to manually modify the JSON metadata. And the second, supported types are limited to number and string. Mixed types are not allowed. And there is a maximum character limitation of 256 for value, name, and tooltip. Then the enums, in fact, the enums does not enforce strict constraints on the input value. The users may input any value as long as it corresponds to the designated number or string type. So as the add-in developers, you need to validate the input. And the localization process for enum is similar to that of functions. You need to specify separate JSON metadata for each language. Please note that only the name and tooltip needs localization. Those two properties are the name, they will all show to user, but the value refers to the actual value processed within the function body. You shouldn't localize that unless you hope to handle all of such things. And the last one, backwards compatibility. As I just mentioned, we keep the existing tab as a string or number. So functions that utilize custom enums as parameters will work well with legacy Excel clients that the clients don't have this feature enabled. So no autocomplete feature, but the function work well. So it is okay because of the better compatibility. It is okay and in fact welcome for all our developers to develop your own functions with custom enum as parameter today now. They wouldn't break any existing experience. Okay, that's all for this sharing. I hope this helps. Let us know if you have any question. Thank you. Dongqi, will you take the next part?
Yes, let me share my screen. So the new API would be similar with the range.getCell properties. And this API could return the properties that like style and formatting and also hyperlink. And the new API that could return properties exactly the format like what is displayed from indirect sources, such as conditional formatting and table styles. So for the interface is currently already in beta preview, which is range.getDisplayedCell properties, and is already supported on current channel preview on Windows and Mac for the online version, which is coming soon. So here is already some links reference on the beta version. And also there would be a sample I have here, like ak.ms/display-cell properties sample. And I will change to my Excel to demo how it exactly works. So currently, this sample is from existing document, which is to get the active cell from the workbook and then get the cell properties, which is the existing API. And then we will get the cell address and format with fill color and font color and bold. So currently, if we have a cell that directly formatted from that, like we have fill and font color and bold, so we could directly get the format. Yeah, this is okay. And then when we have a conditional format, like for cell, we add a conditional format like highlight cell rules and greater than like 2. So it would have a format which is not directly set, but from the conditional formatting. Currently, the existing API, it won't get the real displayed formatting. And also, if there would be a table, like we insert a table, and if we want to get the format, we could see it also get the default format. So currently I changed to use the new API. Yeah, this is the new API, which is get displayed cell properties. And then we don't need to change anything else. And then when we get the cell format for the table, we could see it actually get the displayed format. And then it's also work for the conditional format and also for the directly set the format. Yeah, and if we change a table design like this, it could also get the correct format. So this could be helpful if you want to get the real format and then like paste to other where. Yeah. So thank you. This is my sharing. Please let us know if you have more feedback.
Okay, so thank you, Dongqi, thank you, Miaofei. And so we have another topic. I missed this in the agenda. I'm sorry. And actually, we have an Outlook update today, and the presenter would be Isabela, who is our product manager. And so, Isabela, do you want to share a screen?
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Perfect. So, hi everyone, I'm Isabela, product manager on the Office platform team, and today I have prepared a quick update on Outlook development. So, as you probably know, Microsoft has announced the new Outlook for Windows client. This client unifies the Windows and web code bases to create a more consistent Outlook experience for users and developers. This most significant change for Outlook add-in developers is that COM and VSCO add-ins aren't supported in the new Outlook for Windows. However, the good news is that Outlook web add-ins are supported. Creating Outlook web add-ins not only makes your solution compatible with the new Outlook for Windows, it also makes it available to users on other platforms such as Outlook on Mac, mobile, and on the web. So while you must migrate to web add-ins, we do recognize that there is a gap in features and scenarios supported by the two. The team has been focusing on closing this gap to provide a more seamless experience when you transition from COM to web add-in solutions. And we're happy to announce that we have added more features to support scenarios that represent more than 95% of the usage of Outlook COM add-ins. And these scenarios include improvements to spam email reporting and improvements to data loss prevention. And the great news is that you can start implementing these features in your production add-ins today with the new requirements at 1.15. This is now available in both Classic and New Outlook for Windows and Outlook on the web. It includes highly requested features from the community, such as the Smart Alert improvements in dialog text formatting, running functions from the Smart Alerts dialog, and ability to programmatically send emails. Spam reporting improvements like the pre-processing dialog suppression and ability to open a task main after reporting a message. Additional properties available on multi-selected messages, support for the initialization context change events, and finally, an API to support base64 encoded attachments in reply forms. Our first feature are Smart Alert improvements. So as a brief recap, Smart Alerts are an event-based activation feature that allows logic to run after a user selects send from an Outlook message or appointment. You may be familiar with Smart Alerts' predecessor, OnSend. However, Smart Alerts are the improved version of OnSend and solve issues such as when the app is not available. Smart Alerts are activated by the on-message send and on-appointment send events. There are a variety of scenarios where you can use Smart Alerts, but these include verifying that the correct signature is used, verifying that a sensitivity label is applied, and verifying that the correct color categories are applied. So based on your feedback, we've made a couple of updates in the Smart Alerts feature. The key ones in this API set are the ability to customize the formatting on the Smart Alerts dialog. This includes using bold text, italics, and lists, as well as the ability to use the Take Action button to provide users with guidance on how to meet the conditions of your add-in. You can customize the text of this button and program it to open a task pane or run a function command. To further streamline the user experience when recommending changes to mail items they're sending, we've added the Send Async method, which allows users to programmatically send the item from the task pane or function without further interaction. And here's a quick demo that highlights the new Take Action button with the ability to open a task pane. So here you can see an email, and I've configured an add-in to check for external recipients. So once I click on Send, you can see that the Smart Alerts dialog pops up. Here the important text is in bold, and here you can see the Take Action button. So once I click on the button, it goes ahead and opens a task pane. So moving on to spam reporting improvements. Last year, we shipped the integrated spam reporting experience. This feature was created following Outlook's initiative to unify the user experience for spam and phishing reporting. Some of the benefits of this feature include having your added front and center in the Outlook ribbon for easy reporting, drastically improving reporting performance, and providing a consistent story within all Outlook clients. So far, we've received some feedback about spam reporting. And based on this, we have created some new features to complement spam reporting. This includes the ability to open a task pane after reporting a message and configuring radio buttons in the pre-processing dialog. The last update to spam reporting is being able to suppress the pre-processing dialog for a more streamlined reporting experience. So here in the following demo, you can see the new radio buttons option and the ability to open a task pane. So here you can see that I clearly have a spam email, and then I go ahead and press the button. And here you can see that it's front and center in the Outlook ribbon to really help users streamline their reporting experience. In this pre-processing dialog, you can also see the text or the information from the add-in. So in this case, thank you for using spam reporting feature. And these are the radio buttons as well. So here I'm clicking on this is a spam, adding additional information. So adding a comment that this is a spam. And once I click on report, this is loading the task pane. So here you can see it open it up. And finally, the additional features that are part of this requirement set are first, as part of the item multi-select improvements, we've added a method to load a single message from multiple selected messages to get its properties or perform operations on it. We've also added the item initialization context. This is an event that occurs when an add-in task pane is open from an actionable message, inside message notification, smart alerts dialog, or an integrated spam reporting dialog. And finally, we've updated the reply form attachment API to support specifying base64 encoded attachments in reply forms. And yeah, thank you so much for joining today. On the following community calls, we'll invite partner teams to show demos of how they're using this API set to enhance their scenarios. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all again.
Thank you, Isabela. So have questions? So if you have questions, you can first paste it to the chat channel because we have a lot of content today. So sorry for that. And up next would be David, will give us a quick update about the Nested App Authentication and Q&A session. So David, would you like to share a screen?
Thanks, Mingjia. Actually, can you share the slides? Would that work?
Sure.
I'm not doing any demos or anything. It's just like 3 slides. Thanks. Hi, everyone. My name's David Chesnut, and I work on the Office Platform team. And I've been doing these monthly updates for a little while now on Nested App Authentication and retiring the legacy Exchange online tokens. So I was going to give latest update today. Just wanted to share the timeline for turning off Exchange tokens. So as of now, starting on February 17th, actually, we started turning off tokens across all tenants worldwide. At this point, admins can turn the tokens back on using a PowerShell command. Or if an admin did that before we started rolling out this change, they'll stay on. So we honor whatever the admin has set in PowerShell. That is in process. I think we're around maybe 10% roughly of this rollout process. So it's still going. We should have it rolled out to all tenants in the next couple of weeks or so. So if you have an add-in that is still using Exchange tokens, you could see it break if it's on a tenant where these get turned off. In June of 2025, the plan is we're going to turn them off for all tenants. So all Exchange tokens online are turned off. And admins will have to request an exception to turn it back on. So you won't be allowed to be using the tooling anymore. And then finally in October 2025, they're turned off. There's no exceptions. That's end of life for the legacy Exchange tokens. So the call to action here is I just want to make sure if you're a developer that is using legacy Exchange tokens to make like EWS calls and that sort of thing in Office.js, if you haven't already started, you should start right away moving over to using Nested App Authentication, Enter ID tokens, and I have links later on in the slides here that will point to any documentation you need on that. So just want to point out, it's only 6 months away to October, so want to make sure everybody's moving. And the good news is we've already had lots of folks moving over. So we know that this is in progress, and that's great. And next slide, please. I just wanted to give a quick update on the reporting tool. So for many months, we've been trying to roll out this tool that allows you to monitor like which add-ins on your tenant are using the legacy Exchange tokens. I put in a little screenshot of what it looks like in PowerShell. We call get authentication policy. and it returns whether or not the switch is set, like if it's false or true in terms of have you turned tokens on or off. And there's an allowed and a blocked list. And if the reporting tool is on your tenant, you'll actually see those get populated with any add-ins that requested an exchange token and whether or not they're blocked from that token or were they allowed the token. So it's a nice tool to track down any add-ins that might still be affected or still using exchange tokens that you need to get moved over to NAA. Unfortunately, this has been delayed until April. It's just, and we realize this is super frustrating for folks that want this reporting tool to monitor. It's just the intricacies of rolling out tooling to monitor a legacy token issuing service has just been very complicated. So we'll see. We hope to have an update on this in April. In the meantime, though, you can still find add-ins. You just need to go use the add-in list we published at this link on our Office.js repo in that second bullet point there. So just go there. There's instructions on how to get lists using various PowerShell commands. It's just not as easy as what's below, but it still works. And next slide, please. And so Mingjia, I was hoping to do a live Q&A if anyone has any questions, but I also know there's so much content today. We only have 10 minutes left, so I don't want to, do you know if we have like maybe 5 minutes just to take a few questions?
Yes, I think so. We don't have the other contents today, so we only have the new to add-ins and also the engagement part, like in every community call. So I can paste all those, the ending part links into chat, and so that you can have all of the rest of the time.
Okay, so then I guess if you have a question, just do the little raise hand thing in Teams. It means if you can help me track who's raising a hand.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see. So up first will be Michael. Hello.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, David. I wanted to know, is there a way to tell which tenants have granted consent for my add-in or application?
Yeah, so like you're looking like they consent to the Microsoft Graph permissions or whatever that your add-in requires.
Because for me,
I
it's,
know
you know,
the
I've
tenant can see it. I don't know if you as the add-in
the use case there is that
provider can see it.
I've rolled this out to, you know, hundreds of customers who are using it. I don't know if they need to be alerted to grant consent. You know, we've sent out a bulletin to them, but whether or not they've actioned it is different. So a way for me to actually tell would be useful.
Okay. And would that be like if they have a question you need to be able to tell, or is it like something you'd always need to monitor?
But basically, if they're only going to find out they haven't done it when the thing breaks for them, and they won't necessarily know why it's broken until they start reaching out to our support.
Okay, I see.
Can't guarantee that they will have seen the notices that we've posted. So I'm wondering, is there a way for me to be aware of who's granted consent for my Azure app?
I don't know of a way to do that. I would need to check with the team to see if there's a way to get that information. In general, if they haven't consented, what should happen is they'll get a prompt to consent. So I mean, like, it shouldn't break. It'll actually prompt the user for consent. And if depending on the tenant, like some admins can configure like only admins can consent. And if that happens, then it just means the user gets prompted, but then it'll say they have to sign in as an admin to do it. So if you're seeing an actual breaking behavior, that would be something to look into because it shouldn't be breaking. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's that scenario where the user will see it and they'll be seeing a screen that says you don't have permission to grant access for this, which is effectively it won't work for them. So then they have to go and ask their admin, what's this about? And then the admin's going to contact our support, and we're going to have to repeat that over and over again.
Would you mind putting this question on our GitHub site, and so that I could track it and follow up with you?
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, and because I just don't know off the top of my head, but there might be a way to do it, and I can check with the team. Thanks, Michael. So who's next? Is it Andrew?
Hello. We've just moved our first application to use NNA, our first add-on. And the problem we're seeing is our conditional access policy is blocking it by Outlook Mobile.
Yes.
Obviously, yeah. Was that expected? I don't think we were expecting it. Obviously,
yeah, if there's a conditional access policy, then you'd need to update your code to handle that scenario where you need to prompt the user for more information, typically, or unless they're blocked literally because of something like, their device is in the wrong location. But do you know which conditional access policy it is?
we're looking at it already. I think it's one where the app has to be a Microsoft, an Intune approved app. Obviously, before, when we're using legacy tokens, the add-on just worked in the background, but now it's now failing. I'm assuming it will drop back down to use legacy tokens because we're seeing in the sign-in logs it's failing, but the add-on is still working. So at the moment, we're assuming we're dropping back down to legacy tokens.
Okay, yeah, that'll work as a workaround for a while. So I think we'll need to figure out like how that conditional access policy would need to be handled. And this is another one where I'd need to ask to follow up with you with more details. Is this also on GitHub? Because this sounds familiar. Like I think someone was asking this on GitHub, and if it wasn't you, as somebody else had the same question, then.
Okay, no, it wasn't me. I can put it on there.
Okay, thanks. And I'll look for that specifically.
Okay, thanks.
Are there any other
I don't
questions?
see people raising hands
Okay.
now, so yeah.
All right. So yeah, I'll monitor the chat here. If I see any other questions popping up, I'll answer in line.
All right. Thank you, David.
Thanks.
So yeah, we have last 5 minutes, so I'll go ahead and share the ending part of the community call in case someone is looking at the recording. So yeah. So yeah, we have the documentation update highlights for this month. So we have the development experience, Excel, and Outlook and PowerPoint, as well as the Unifast manifest for M365, and also the Word. All those documentation updates, I will also paste them into the chat channel later, so that you can take a look for the key updates of our documentation. And if you're new to Office add-ins, here are some resources you can check to get started for our documentations and the quick starts for all those apps, and also the script labs and samples to check our code samples and have some experiments with the code. And also you can see this developer program and also the Office scripts resources here. Okay, so if you have some questions and would like to engage with the team, here are some links that you can go to have some discussion with the team. These two links are for the technical questions about Office add-ins, and also if you have a product bugs, you can always go to this GitHub link to post with more details about your questions. And if you have some feature requests and ideas, you can post it to this suggestion channel. All right, so we have several community calls in the M365 community. So if you have solutions related to other Microsoft products, you can go ahead to see those community calls, to see those updates and capabilities, and to see if there is any useful resources. And so there is an overall community calls web page. You can check this link to have all those community calls to check the available community calls. And so yeah, that's all for the community call today. So this recording would be uploaded a couple of days after this call to our YouTube channel, and also you can keep an eye on our Twitter and the linking linking channel for the community. And the next call would be next month, April 9th at the same time. And agenda will be posted a couple of days before the call. And you can submit your questions through this form after like 12 hours after this call. So the forms will be reopened. Okay, so that is all for today's community call. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye.